drama on and off the field. George Pickens is once again in the spotlight for the Steelers, arriving late and racking up more controversies than receptions. Meanwhile, TJ Watt, one of the team's defensive pillars, finishes the season feeling frustrated and overshadowed, but promises changes ahead. Are the Steelers sabotaging their own future? Stay tuned for all the details on these stories shaking up Pittsburgh. And don't forget to like the video so you won't miss anything. The drama surrounding George Pickens just keeps escalating in Pittsburgh. According to Mike DeFabo from The Athletic, the Steelers' wide receiver added another chapter to his turbulent season by arriving late for the team's Week 17 matchup against the Chiefs on Christmas Day. Yes, you read that right. While Mike Tomlin requires players to arrive at least 2 hours before kickoff, Pickens walked through the media entrance just an hour and 25 minutes before game time. This happened after the team's inactives had already been announced. Adding to the drama, this was Pickens' return game after a 3-week hiatus due to a hamstring injury. It wasn't exactly the statement comeback the Steelers were hoping for. He finished the game with a mediocre stat line, 3 catches for 50 yards, but his highlight reel was far from impressive. He drew a penalty for removing his helmet mid-game and half-heartedly ran a route that led to a red zone interception. The Steelers were blown out, losing 29-10. Ouch. Statistically, the 23-year-old had a decent season, logging 59 receptions for 900 yards and 3 touchdowns in 14 games. However, the off-field issues have been loud. Reports indicate that Pickens accrued over $200,000 in fines during the 2023 season and added another $90,000 in penalties in 2024. Let's not forget the incidents: a clash with Browns corner Greg Newsome II in Week 12, and a heated exchange with fans during Week 18 against the Bengals. As Pickens heads into the final year of his rookie contract in 2025, his future with the Steelers feels uncertain. While he's undoubtedly a top offensive weapon, the baggage is piling up. If the distractions continue to outweigh the production, Pittsburgh may decide to move on. What do you think, Steelers fans? Should the team stick with George Pickens despite the drama? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you thought this story was intense, wait until you hear about what's happening with TJ Watt. It's even more intriguing. TJ Watt's tough season, a call for change. TJ Watt and the Steelers wrapped up the 2024 season on a sour note, especially for a player of Watt's caliber. The All-Pro pass rusher and 7-time Pro Bowler was virtually invisible in their painful playoff loss to the Ravens. He didn't record a single defensive stat during the game. Pro Football Focus credited him with 4 quarterback pressures, but it came alongside 2 missed tackles. To make matters worse, he was also shut out in Week 18 against the Bengals, failing to register a sack or QB hit in the last 4 games of the season. The result? 4 straight losses, an early playoff exit, and a frustrating 0-5 postseason record for Watt. Watt didn't shy away from accountability. During the team's locker cleanout day, he admitted, "It's frustrating. It's not just about the last game, it's about the last month. I need to play better. We need to play better. There's a lot to fix, but it starts with me." While he took responsibility, the blame doesn't rest solely on his shoulders. The issue? The Steelers' defensive scheme left him out to dry. Watt was the most chipped player in the NFL in 2024. Despite this, he was lined up on the same side of the field for nearly every snap, 546 times as a left OLB or DE versus just 8 in other positions, making it easy for opponents to plan around neutralizing him. Meanwhile, the Browns use Myles Garrett far more dynamically, moving him across the field to confuse offenses. Watt, on the other hand, was stuck in a predictable setup that opposing teams exploited relentlessly. Even Watt has realized he needs to adapt. While he prefers the left side, he acknowledged the necessity of moving around more to avoid being schemed out of games. "I want to be an impact player. I don't want teams to take me out of the game so easily," he said, admitting the need for change. However, this is a responsibility that should fall on the coaching staff, which failed to make adjustments. It shouldn't be up to the player to request better utilization. It's the coach's job to lead. Watt has shown his willingness to put the team first, praising Alex Highsmith and acknowledging that his teammate might be more effective on the right side in certain situations. This is the kind of leadership you expect from a star player. With a long offseason ahead, Watt has made it clear he's determined to find solutions to return to dominance in 2025. Known for his obsessive attention to detail and film study, you can bet he'll figure it out. The real question is whether the Steelers will finally provide the necessary support or stick to a scheme that limits their best defensive players' impact. As a fan, it's hard not to feel concerned. Pickens has talent, but his behavior could end up costing the team. And Watt? He deserves a scheme that lets him thrive. The Steelers need to wake up and stop letting poor decisions squander the team's potential. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated and see what the future holds for Pittsburgh.